Good afternoon, and welcome to Fridays with Friends. My name is Ananda Balroop, and I'm an attorney here at Coast to Coast Legal Aid of South Florida. Today, I'm here with our guest, Laura Finley from No More Tears. Thank you for joining us today, Laura.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right, let's get started. So can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your role at No More Tears?
Sure. So professionally, I'm a professor of sociology and criminology at Barry University, but I've been involved with the field of domestic violence since I moved to Florida about 16 years ago. I worked first at Women in Distress as a trainer. And then my good friend Somi was starting No More Tears as a nonprofit organization. And she asked if I would sort of help her out as much as I could. And at the time is when I was switching from Women in Distress to Barry anyway. And so I kind of transitioned to helping her with No More Tears. For a while I was board member, now I'm just a volunteer. I do a lot of speaking type things for No More Tears since I'm a talker and I that's what I do for a living. So that's what I usually contribute. But I've done various other things with the organization as well, including working directly with some victims.
All right, that's awesome. Well, can you tell everyone about the mission of No More Tears?
Yep. So the mission of No More Tears is to assist and empower victims of domestic violence and human trafficking. And so to date, we've served over 30,000 men, women, and children, including a number of members from the LGBTQ community as well.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And what are some of the services that No More Tears provides to the community?
Yeah, so No More Tears operates a lot different than most traditional domestic violence shelters because we don't actually have a physical space. And so that's one of the reasons we operate differently. And another one is nobody takes a salary, including Somi, who started it and does this 24/7. She's just gives of her time. So because we don't have a space and we don't have financial obligations to cover the space or staffing or whatever, we're able to be more flexible with our monies and then more flexible with our services. So they're very individualized. It depends on each person's case, but it might include housing help if they need that. It might include legal help if they need that. Sometimes it's helping someone find a job, learn English, pay some bills if they need that for a while. I've even helped victims move or watch their children. It's a very eclectic set of services. And I think that's why it works so well, not to replace the shelter model, because we definitely need those too, but as an addition to that, because oftentimes shelters get full or there are other difficulties with people into a shelter. And so I think, nicely augment down in South Florida with our services.
That's great. And so how would someone apply for services with No More Tears?
Super simple. All they have to do is contact No More Tears. So I put in the chat our website as well as the phone number, and that contact is the initial step. And then what will happen is Somi or another person who's working with the organization will set up with that person an intake time. So they'll sit with that individual who's seeking help and just kind of get their case study, basically. What is your story? What have you sought help for already? What do you need help for? And basically, what can we do for you? So it's a super easy application kind of process and a super easy kind of intake process.
Okay, and are there any requirements?
We don't have to prove you're a victim by showing a police report or anything like that. Just simply telling your story. If you're a legit victim of domestic violence and human trafficking by what you say, then you're eligible to get the help, as long as the organization has money to help you. And so far we're doing pretty good.
And so has your organization changed its methods of services due to COVID?
I definitely did for a while. Not having a space was helpful in that regard, because I know a lot of the shelters had to socially distance, and that was a big, kind of a nightmare. Since we don't have that, we didn't have to do some of those same procedures, but definitely doing Zoom and other intakes virtually was helpful for victims who might need help and didn't feel comfortable physically coming together. And obviously most of what happens is one-on-one. So at least that was a little smoother for us than it would have been for some other services I know, but we didn't ever have to totally stop. We were, careful to, again, use the virtual methods, always masks. Thankfully, we're able to keep working through COVID, but it did change things a little bit.
I see. Do you guys have any restrictions now due to COVID?
Just that when they're in person, people wear masks. That's really the only thing. We encourage people to be vaccinated, but it's not a firm and fast requirement for the organization.
Okay. And if someone had any questions about No More Tears, how would they be able to reach you?
They could go to our website and learn a lot more. So it's nomoretearsusa.org, which I did put in the chat. They could look at our Facebook, which is nomoretearsusa.org on Facebook, or they could call, put the number in there as well. And all those are great sources of information.
Okay. And lastly, are there any upcoming events for No More Tears that No More Tears is offering to the community?
Actually are. I'm glad you asked that. So next Thursday, the 20th at 6:30 p.m., there's a happy hour for a cause, a fundraiser at a new wine bar. I've never been here, but it's called Rebel Wine Bar in Oakland Park area. So folks can find out more details, the address and stuff on the website. It's on the main page, so you can find that if anyone's interested. And then in February, No More Tears helps promote some events that we actually do at my university, at Barry University, called the College Brides Walk. It's a series of dating domestic violence awareness events, activities, panels. There is a walk component of some sorts. We'll see what that looks like this year, depending on COVID. But No More Tears is a sponsor of that, and so is sponsoring a panel of survivors to share their stories during the month of February. And I should have looked up the date of that. I think it's February 15th, but more details about that will be also on the website and on the Facebook.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us here today, and thank you for providing all the wonderful services that No More Tears provides to the
No More
community.
Tears has always had a good relationship with Legal Aid. We're very grateful for that, and a lot of stuff together. So appreciate this opportunity to share a little bit. I'm a fast talker. You ask good questions, so we got a lot covered in a short time.
That's true. All right, so we want to remind everyone how to get in touch with No More Tears. So the Facebook page and the website will be posted in the comments so everyone can get that information. Thank you, Laura, again for joining us and providing us with all this information. Thank you to everyone for watching. Don't forget to tune in on Fridays for more segments of Fridays with Friends. Please remember to like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube at Coast to Coast Legal Aid for other important updates. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You too.